It's called one of the greatest war films of all time. In fact, it's called one of the greatest films of all time, regardless of the genre. To this day, people consider this movie one of the best of the best. Saving Private Ryan changed the movie industry when it came out back in 1998. Before the movie even premiered, people were eager to see it. Steven Spielberg is the most successful director of all time. Tom Hanks is one of the biggest movie stars in history, and a tale about World War II sounded incredibly compelling. The movie earned millions of dollars and won numerous awards, including Best Director at the Oscars. And the impact it had was unparalleled, changing the way that people made and thought about war movies. War is hell, and Saving Private Ryan proved that. The cast that starred in the film was A+ across the board, with many of them just entering the movie business. So what happened to the cast after they saved Private Ryan? Number 7, Vin Diesel. That's right, Vin Diesel was one of the stars of Saving Private Ryan. Many people don't remember that because this was before he was racing through the streets in Fast and the Furious. This was in fact Diesel's big break, and he did a terrific job with limited screen time. Since then, he's gone on to become one of the biggest stars in the world. The Fast and Furious and Guardians of the Galaxy films have really propelled his career forward. He's tried to launch other franchises, such as Pitch Black and Triple X, but they have had varying degrees of success. There is no doubt that the Fast and Furious films are Vin Diesel's bread and butter and are the biggest thing he's ever been a part of. Diesel hasn't been able to show off his dramatic muscle as much since Saving Private Ryan, although he did cause a few tears with his performance in the animated classic The Iron Giant.
You stay, I go.
Number 6, Tom Sizemore.
Someday we might look back on this and decide that Saving Private Ryan.
In the years immediately following Saving Private Ryan, Tom Sizemore was in a number of big productions that took the box office by storm. He appeared in Enemy of the State with Will Smith, Red Planet, Pearl Harbor, and Black Hawk Down.
Keep your foot on the gas! Keep your foot on the gas!
Sizemore actually did dozens upon dozens of movies in the decades after Saving Private Ryan, appearing in everything from Stephen King's malign Dreamcatcher to episodes of Law & Order SVU and Hawaii Five-0. For many years, his face would appear on a number of shows, usually just for 1 or 2 episodes. Sizemore didn't stop working, but the quality of his work seemed to decline later, leading him to star in a ton of TV movies and straight-to-DVD releases that didn't receive good reviews or many viewers. Tom was still turning out a ton of content when he sadly passed away from a brain aneurysm in March 2023. To this day, Saving Private Ryan remains a high point in his all-too-short career. Number 5, Edward Burns.
2 of our guys already died trying to find you, all right?
Edward Burns played hot-headed Private Ryan in the film, someone questioning the entire mission to save Private Ryan. He delivered his performance with a touch of reality and toughness that relayed the character perfectly. Burns has worked a lot since the days of Saving Private Ryan, and not only as an actor, he is an accomplished and acclaimed writer-director, and has released films like The Brothers McMullen, She's the One, and No Looking Back. But Burns has kept his foot in the world of acting a lot too, starring in the films that he has written and directed, and also appearing in Life or Something Like It, The Breakup Artist, Will and Grace, Entourage, Man on a Ledge, Alex Cross, and a lot more. The last few years have been relatively quiet for Burns, but maybe that's because he's cooking up a brand new project that he could write, direct, or star in. Or maybe he'll do all 3. Looking at his filmography, it's clear that Burns won't be out of the limelight for too much longer. Number 4, Barry Pepper.
My goodness, my fortress, my high tower, and my deliverer.
Barry Pepper has an unforgettable look and has been compared to a modern James Dean because of it. In Saving Private Ryan, he was a quiet hero and instantly left a mark on the hearts of audiences all over the world. The years after Saving Private Ryan were very busy for Barry Pepper. He was cast in Enemy of the State and The Green Mile, 2 very big hits. Sadly, his next picture, Battlefield Earth, is considered one of the biggest box office bombs of all time. But that didn't stop Pepper at all. Instead, he kept working consistently, starring in Knockaround Guys, We Were Soldiers, and Spike Lee's 25th Hour. The early 2000s were obviously a very busy and successful time for Barry Pepper. He returned to the world of World War II as well, appearing in Clint Eastwood's Flags of Our Fathers in 2006.
Harlan! Get your fire team up in that position!
Pepper has been a part of many big productions, such as The Lone Ranger, True Grit, and even one of the Call of Duty games.
Heard General Shepard wants to pull a shooter from our unit for some special op. Anyway, he's up there in observation. Go ahead and grab a pistol.
He's recently been making noise as Esau Peace in the popular Paramount Plus series Lawman Baze Reeves. Barry Peppers hasn't stopped working since Saving Private Ryan and is still one of the most memorable faces in Hollywood. Number 3, Jeremy Davies. The role of Corporate Upham was a very tough one. In many ways, he was the character that audiences related to the most because he felt terrified and unsure of how to proceed during the film. It was very important that Steven Spielberg found the right actor to portray Upham, and he did with Jeremy Davies, who has remained a well-known character actor in the years since. Davies has starred in a lot of projects, sometimes taking on very different roles from one movie to the next. He was in Secretary and Rescue Dawn, as well as Solaris with George Clooney. Davies has found tons of fame on television too. He starred in many episodes of the smash hit show Lost.
You cannot change anything. You can't. Even if you tried to, wouldn't work.
And also appeared in Hannibal and FX's crime drama Justified. Recently, Davies has been popping up in a lot of guest starring roles on TV, appearing on multiple DC programs like Supergirl, The Flash, and Arrow. He can also be found in episodes of FBI and The Rookie, and was recently in the horror film The Black Phone. Jeremy Davies has made a name for himself as someone with a very unique voice, look, and performance style. He has shown that off in many projects, but none better than Saving Private Ryan. Number 2, Matt Damon.
It doesn't make any sense, sir. Why? Why me? Why do I deserve to go?
It's hard to think about a time when Matt Damon wasn't one of the biggest movie stars in the world, but when Saving Private Ryan came out, there was a lot not known about Matt Damon. He had just won an Oscar for writing and starring in Good Will Hunting, but people wondered what his career was going to be like. Would he be a dramatic star? A comedic one? Would he stick to writing more, or would he be in front of the camera? Since Saving Private Ryan, Damon has done a bit of all of that. He has found some huge box office successes with the Jason Bourne films The Martian and the Ocean's 11 franchise.
Hi, Sheldon Willis. I'm about a gaming commission. I'm afraid I need 2 minutes of your time.
And he's also been in smaller films such as The Informant, The Good Shepherd, and Invictus. Damon is still one of the most well-known stars in the entire world, and many of his films have been massive smashes. Take True Grit, for example, or Contagion, or Interstellar.
Do my duty, Cooper. But I knew the day that I arrived here that this place had nothing.
Interstellar wasn't the only Christopher Nolan that Damon has appeared in. He was one of the co-stars of Oppenheimer, which won numerous Oscars including Best Picture and Best Director. But Damon has also done a lot of work behind the camera too, producing movies like Manchester by the Sea and Air, and has also co-written films Jerry, Promised Land, and The Last Duel. Matt Damon has stayed incredibly busy in the years since being saved by his brothers in the World War II. He's had one of the most successful and memorable careers in Hollywood history. Of course, his star power is overshadowed by just one other star in the cast of Saving Private Ryan, none other than Tom Hanks. Number 1, Tom Hanks.
Angels on our shoulders.
The cast of Saving Private Ryan needed a leader, a hero they could believe in, someone who could guide them and inspire them. So, of course, Steven Spielberg cast Tom Hanks in the role of Captain Miller. When Saving Private Ryan came out, Hanks was already the largest star on Earth. He had earned 2 Oscars, was a household name, and was beloved by everyone. He was the perfect man to take on this role, and his performance was celebrated by many. Even though Hanks was already decades into his acting career at that point, many more amazing projects were ahead of him after Saving Private Ryan. He's starred in a slew of memorable movies since, such as Castaway, which earned him another Oscar nomination, The Polar Express, Road to Perdition, and more. Looking at his track record in the years after Saving Private Ryan, features some of the best movies in the last 20 years. The Green Mile, Catch Me If You Can, Toy Story 2, and more have all starred Hanks. He has also starred in Captain Phillips, Saving Mr. Banks, Bridge of Spies, and The Da Vinci Code, and its sequels, Angels and Demons and Inferno. And who could forget A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, when Tom Hanks played everyone's favorite TV personality, Mr. Rogers?
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine?
He really has done it all in the years since Saving Private Ryan. Tom Hanks has also stayed incredibly busy as a producer too. In fact, he worked closely with Steven Spielberg to continue telling tales about World War II with the highly acclaimed miniseries Band of Brothers, The Pacific, and Masters of the Air.
Are we hit? Starboard engines are okay.
Hanks has done just about everything during his decades in Hollywood, but few things are well remembered and cherished as his work in Saving Private Ryan.